Let's go now to Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, a Democrat from New York and a member of the Judiciary Committee and Congressional Black Caucus. Congressman, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Love him, hate him. Donald Trump, you can't argue that he's speaking to his base, he's rallying his base, he's speaking directly to the voters that like him. How are Democrats doing the same?
Well, we have a very energized Democratic base, obviously, as a result of the election of Donald Trump and the offensive ways in which he's conducted himself over the last few weeks. More importantly, we're trying to speak to the entirety of the country. It should be the president's job to bring everyone together after an election. He's 28 days into his presidency, and he's already back out on the campaign trail. It's inexplicable. We've got tremendous problems on the national stage as well as on the international stage, and he should be spending his time working on those issues in partnership with Democrats and Republicans in Congress. I think that's what the American people want to see, not just the Democratic Party base, all of America, and hopefully he can get back to doing his job.
Do the Democrats risk just being too anti-Trump all the time? I'm talking, do they risk losing their base by not talking about their issues, not talking about what they're going to get done, how they're going to represent their values, instead of just saying Donald Trump is awful, Donald Trump has done this wrong, Donald Trump needs to start acting more like a president, what's he doing in South Carolina? Why not talk about your ideas?
Well, we do, and we have an affirmative agenda that is designed to build an economy that works for everyday Americans, not just the big banks and big oil and big industry. We can raise the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour. Rising tide lifts all boats. That would be a good first start. If we're going to do tax reform, we should expand the earned income tax credit so that working families are the ones who actually benefit from any changes in the tax code. We should change the Social Security cost of living formula so that senior citizens can finally receive a meaningful increase in their Social Security paycheck that they rely on each and every month. These are issues where hopefully we can find some common ground with Donald Trump, but the distraction is all his fault. It was his campaign that appears to have had questionable contacts with those who were part of the Kremlin, who were interfering in our election, as 17 different intelligence agencies have determined. So we have got a whole host of issues that we've got to work out in terms of the American people. At the same time, we should also figure out what really happened in terms of interference in our election.
Do you think any Republicans, any more than the one that's already said, are going to join on to the call to have an independent investigation, or is this something that's going to get stuck in the various intelligence committees?
Well, this is not a Democratic issue or a Republican issue. It's an American issue. The fact is, a foreign power, Russia, at the explicit direction of Vladimir Putin, interfered with an American election. 17 different intelligence agencies drew that conclusion. We also know that close associates to Donald Trump, Paul Manafort, Carter, his national security advisor who just resigned in disgrace, Michael Flynn, all had regular contact with these Russian intelligence agencies at the same time that they were hacking in order to interfere with the election. And so there's some questions that have to be worked out, and we've urged all of our colleagues within the Congress to put aside partisan politics and let's follow the facts. In
trying to work with this administration going forward, beyond the investigations into Russia, he talked about wanting to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus. I mean, he asked April Ryan if she could set a meeting up with him, which is odd since she's a reporter. But has his administration reached out to you guys?
Well, not as of yet. It may have changed in the immediate aftermath of that press conference, but the Congressional Black Caucus, under the leadership of our chairman, Cedric Richmond, sent a detailed letter to Donald Trump on January 19th, laying out the issues that we'd like to talk to him about if he, in fact, is genuinely interested in working on issues of importance to Black America. Not just inner-city Black America, by the way. There are African Americans who live in the suburbs all across this country, and many African Americans, a substantial number, actually live in rural America. So there's a whole host of issues that we'd like to discuss with him. Our broken criminal justice system and the need to reform it. We incarcerate more people in America than any other country in the world. That's shameful. We want to create an economy again that works for communities all across this country, regardless of race. We've got to fix the Voting Rights Act. These are issues that have been put on the table, and hopefully he now realizes that entertainers and actors like Steve Harvey and others aren't the ones who speak for Black America that there are actually 49 members of Congress in the House and in the Senate who are African American, who are looking forward to improving things for the communities we represent.
What do you make of him asking April Ryan to set up that meeting?
It was very strange, but he's done a lot of strange things over the last 28 days, and hopefully some of his advisors have been. One, that a letter has already been sent to him, and that we're looking forward to an open dialogue. Steve Bannon, however, should not be in the room.
Why not?
Well, listen, he's a stone-cold racist and a white supremacist sympathizer. It'd be hard for me to participate in any meeting with Steve Bannon that normalizes his presence in the White House. Beyond that, we'll have to see what the members decide as it relates to a meeting moving forward.
Congressman Jeffries, thank you so much for being here. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.